brand new year. Happy New Year, everybody. And I love that video as it ended. It says, when you know your why, your what has more impact because you know what you're walking in, your purpose. And that's very, very important to start off 2016 of knowing why you're doing what you're doing, because everybody just finished doing what is called their New Year's resolutions. And the two most important things that people put down is lose weight or money. Now, in our business, we can't help you with the lose weight part. We can definitely help you on the make more money part by providing a vehicle that's going to allow you to do so. But here's the thing, and you've got to have self-reflection in your life. Every year you do New Year's resolutions, and chances are you put down this year what you put down last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. The question is, have progressed? Has anything changed in your life? Are you in the same position now that you were last year, or are you worse off, or are you better off? And this is how you self-gauge yourself, so you know what did you do last year to get you to where you are now, and what do you need to do differently. It is all about change, because doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. That's the definition of it. If you want something different, you must do something different. You must make some adjustments. So what are you going to make in your life for 2016 to have better results than you did in 2015? And I do say this. Some of you are satisfied where you are right now. Some of you may be downright depressed. But I'm here to tell you that it is temporary, just like the difference between poverty and broke. Poverty is a mindset. It is generational. It is never-ending. Broke is a temporary situation that you can always change. And the fact that you made it through a whole another year still alive means that you have another day to change your circumstances, because there's many people that did not make it through 2015. That in itself is the greatest gift of all. You have another chance. You have a second chance. A lot of people don't. And the saddest thing is those that are still living are just walking corpses. You know that age, when people turn 21, they die at 21 but don't hit the grave until they're 65? There's many people like that, walking zombies right now. But at least you are aware that it's only an attitude and only a choice, that current situation. And also understand that it is a process that you can't put a time limit on. You have no idea when, how, or where things will start to change in your life. All you do is work hard in the direction of where you want to go and have faith that eventually you're going to get there. For some people, it happens immediately. For others, it takes a long time. And someone asked me a couple of weeks ago, why is that difference? Why does it happen faster for some than others? Who knows? A lot of it can be done with one person's mindset is different than another. One person's personal development is on another level than another person. And the person who you've asked for, you have no idea what they've gone through in their life. I had an older gentleman, he was maybe 63 years old, was telling me a couple months ago, he was like, wow, Brandon, I mean, you did it fast. You retired at the age of 36 years old. Because I wish I was 36 years old again. You're still a baby. At that time, I was in the industry for 13, 14 years. And I said, wow, to you that might have been fast, but I went through 13 years of hell to get to this point. It didn't happen fast for me. You know, looking back on it maybe 10, 20 years from now, I'll look back on that and say, wow, yeah, I did that pretty young. And I know what I went through to get to this point. And I know how many people quit that were on the same path as I was on during that process. that we have the same life challenges. We have the same things that happen to us. And they chose to go a different direction and quit. They decided they didn't want to go through the struggle. They decided that they need to find a better way. And they are in a worse position today than they were then. I decided to keep going forward. I had no idea when. I'll give you guys a couple of examples. I remember when I was 25 years old, I made a New Year's resolution that I wanted to become a millionaire by the time I was 30. That didn't happen. I remember when I was 30 years old, I made a New Year's resolution. I said, you know what? By the time I'm 35, I'm going to become a millionaire. That didn't happen. But you know what did happen? Because I was working towards that goal, I ended up becoming a six-figure-a-year earner in the industry and my job, and don't have to have a 9-to-5 job anymore. Happiness is not about how much money you have in the bank. It's about lifestyle. It's about being comfortable. It's about being able to do the things you want to do when you want to do it, and I've achieved that. What are your goals? What are your, and you got to think big. And so since I went on a tangent and started late, let me get back on track here. Going into 2016, you want to start with your focus on your attitude. How was your attitude going into 2016? Do you have the attitude of same old as last year? Nothing's going to happen for me. Every time I try, things fail. Is that your attitude, or is it going to be, you know what? I don't care what happens to me this year, I'm still moving forward. Nothing's going to stop me. This is my year. Attitude is a little thing, a huge difference. It makes all the difference in the world. It's a difference, those of you who got a gym membership, and you on January 1st, you're in the gym, you're at LA Fitness, and LA Fitness is the most busiest during the first 3 weeks of January. And you're there on that treadmill, and somebody next to you is on the same treadmill. Neither of you have been in the gym for a year. Who's going to still be on that treadmill 1 month from now? You or them? And what's the difference? Are the treadmills going to break down? No, they're still going to be there. One person's going to have the attitude to keep doing it, another person's going to quit. What is your I quit level? What is your attitude? What are you willing to put up? What are you willing to go through? I love listening to the, I'm looking right at his face, and his name just slipped my mind. Tyler Perry, and how he went 8 years broke. 8 years trying to make his dream come true, when everybody was telling him to give it up, to stop wasting his time, to stop putting his money in his dream of having his little playhouse. The man's worth almost $500 million today. You just don't know. Jim Carrey's got a great story. Jim Carrey went through the same thing until his movie took off, Dumb and Dumber. He wrote a check for $10 million and put it in his wallet. That's how much it is dumber. You listen and read successful story, is the same story over and over. Everybody looks at where they are today, but nobody looks at where they were when they got started, what they had to go through. And the world is waiting to hear your story, but you've got to have the right attitude to go through it. You've got to know how to look at the challenges that come your way. The challenges that are there to make you stronger. That's why it's called a challenge. It's not there to put you in the grave. It's there to determine, are you going to be able to, are you staying in your lane? Or are you going to be able to break through and go to the next level? Somebody please tell Darren he's going to have to refresh if you guys can still hear me and he cannot. Attitude is everything. And here's also the attitude in the United States today. And I spent the last couple of days reading a lot of articles, the state of the economy today, where we are today, where the U.S. economy is today as opposed to 8 years ago, et cetera, et cetera. And while the economy has gotten back on track, and in most cases it has, the people have not. The rich have gotten insanely richer. Insanely richer. Everybody else has not. Money, here's one thing you have to understand about money. Money does not disappear. Money is like water. You know how they say energy, all energy is never destroyed? Because money is just an energy source. So picture money like a river, water. It flows. And those of you who get in the water get wet. And those of you who stand on the sidelines and just watch the water never get to touch it. And sometimes the water, the river, changes course. It changes direction. I love how Bruce Lee talks about this when he talks about practicing martial arts. What the wealthy have been able to do successfully, they've been able to flow with the river. No matter what course it changes, they change with it because they understand how it works. The poor, the broke, most other people, they don't even know the river exists. They get splashes of it on their face. They don't know how to get in it. And if they're lucky enough to fall in it, and when the river changes course, they don't know how to move with it. And that's what the U.S. economy has done. The river of money is larger today than it has ever been in the history of America. It's just most people don't have access to that river. And it's not that it's being blocked to them, they just don't know how to get to it. That's where becoming an entrepreneur, a home-based business, allows you access wealthy stream of river money. You've got to have the right mindset in how to attach it. And we're living in a fantasy world right now in the United States. We think, oh, the economy is bad, but I'm still broke. Here's the reality. 46% of all American workers have less than $10,000 for retirement. 76% of all people are living paycheck to paycheck. 51% of all American workers make less than $30,000 a year. 38% of all American workers made less than $20,000 last year. 62% of all Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account. The federal poverty level for a family of 5 is $28,410, and yet almost 40% of all American workers do not even bring in $20,000 a year. Let that sink in for a moment. Say goodbye to the past. Say goodbye to American dominance. Say goodbye to the U.S. dollar in the future, where you have China that has more people in their middle class than we have people in the entire United States, where China has more students on the honor roll than we have students in the United States. This is the reality of the new century. It can still be the American century, but so far it is not. It's really up for grabs right now. No matter what the state of the U.S. is, you personally can live the greatest adventure of your life no matter what the economy is doing, no matter what the country is doing. So you have to learn how to be able to, from the deliria of the masses, what is your current state? We do a state of the address of the United States every year. What is your state of address? And what are you doing to change that? Because since most people fall into one of these categories, you don't have to fall in any of these categories. You look at the continent of Africa that's portrayed as one of the poorest people on the planet, yet there's billionaires in Africa. Do you think that they are living poor? The images that's shown on TV? They're living better than 99.9% of all Americans, for some people's reality. What is your own perception? What is your own reality? Make it a goal this year to get out of at least, let's look at these statistics, for example. If 62% of all Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account, make it a goal to end 2016 with more than $1,000 in your account. That puts you better off than 62% of all Americans. Make it a goal to earn more than $30,000 this year. That puts you at better than half of all Americans. You know, if you got to start from the bottom. Once you get bigger, then you can say, oh, I'm not living from paycheck to paycheck anymore. Have enough money in the bank that if something were to happen to your income, you can still survive for 6 months or a year with all your bills still being paid. Forget about the retirement. We know why that happened, the 2007, 2008 market crash, and nobody has retirement savings anymore. Just because you own a home, most people don't actually own the home. You live in a house. You don't own the house. You have a mortgage on it. It doesn't mean you own it. And people are taking out second and third mortgages on it. The house is a liability and not an asset. You don't have to be driving the best car and have the best house to be rich. There's a lot of people out there driving a 10, 15-year-old car that have more money than everybody that has the newest Benz. That person doesn't have a monthly payment on their car. Can't judge a book by its cover. But at least get out of one of these categories for 2016. And the ultimate goal is that you're not in any of these categories. You want to know one thing that's amazing? If you were to eliminate all of your debt and you had an extra $10 cash in your pocket, that will put you better off than 80%, or was it 90%? It's 90% of all Americans. With just no debt and $10 cash in your pocket. I think it's 95%. Got to remember that stat. This is the reality that we all. So when you're doing your business this year, can you afford to quit? Think about that. Because if you quit, what are you going back to? Can you afford to quit? You may not be having a lot of success yet, but can you afford to quit? Think about that for this year when you're doing your business. Now let's talk about the new economy. I spent a lot of time and went off track, so we're going to go through these because they're very basic. The world as you know it has changed. For the people who don't recognize that fact, it will be the worst of times. For those of you who do, it will be the best of times. Over the last 100 years, an interesting phenomenon has occurred. The rise of the corporation became the standard in society. For people to exist in the workplace was as an employee. The goal was to go to school, to learn how to be an employee, find a company that will employ you, work for that company for 40 years, and retire. Here's the trap. That is called modern-day slavery. If you are getting a paycheck, you are a slave. And I don't say that to be insulting. It's the truth. And it was only designed to work for one generation. And that's all it had, maybe for half of that generation. Not long term. Because society and the economy has changed. This has not. This formula has not changed. This is a formula we're still teaching our kids today that was brought up at the turn of the century after the Industrial Revolution, where people became not self-sufficient anymore and they moved to the cities to work in the factories. You became dependent on an employee for your livelihood. You're not independent anymore. In recent decades, the promise of being rewarded by the company for your loyalty and hard work has been exposed as a myth. People began to realize that the loyalty they were giving to their company was not being given in return. Step 1, go to school to learn how to be an employee. Step 2, find a company that will employ you. Step 3, here's where the rails. Switch companies for various political and economic reasons every 3 years over the course of your career. Step 5, Step 4, find that you can't retire comfortably after 40 years, so you keep working. That if you work hard for 40 years, you're going to be able to retire and live comfortably for the rest of your life without having to work and enjoy your golden years. The reality is that most people that end up retiring die within 2 years of retirement. That was under the good days. Today, you're not even able to retire because you can't afford to, so you're dying on your job. Why should you have to wait till you're 65, you're in your 60s and 70s before you can start to enjoy life? Why not when you're in your best decades, when you have the strength and the energy to do so? You're in your 30s and 40s and 50s. Why can't you retire then? It's taboo. I went to, my dad has, his community, they have poker nights with all of his buddies, and they're all in their 60s and 70s, and late 50s. And I went to the poker night, and I'm 39 years old. And of course, everybody's asked, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? And one person asked, me, well, what do you do for a living? And another person that knows my dad said, oh, he's retired. And the guy, I never met him before. He looked at me like, what do you mean? So I retired from corporate America. He said, what do you mean? I said, I don't have a job. Well, if you don't have a job, how do you earn money? He said, well, do you own a business? I said, yeah, actually I do. Oh, where's your business located? At home. What are you selling? I don't sell anything. You see, and I love doing this. And he's looking at me like, because I was giving him one-word answers, really, not really going into explanation. Because the more I ask, the more questions I ask. I don't understand. Well, I was blessed enough. I had a corporate job and I had been laid off before. So I decided I need to have a plan B, a backup plan, in case I got laid off again. And my backup plan ended up earning me more money, in fact, 3 times more money than I was making on my job. So I quit my job and I worked full-time from home in my business, and I'm never going back to corporate America again. I retired. See, in his mind, retirement means that, you're home, you don't do anything, and you kind of play golf the rest of the day and bug your wife and get involved in some charities, whatever you do in retirement. I said, no. See, for me, retirement means that I have bought my own time back. I no longer have to clock in 40 hours a week on somebody else's clock. It means that I can come and go and do as I please whenever I want. It means that every day is a free. It doesn't mean that I'm sitting on the couch twiddling my thumb, because I actually work harder now than I did on my job. The difference is I now work for myself, and I'm working for my own wealth. The hours I put in are going to me and not the slaveholder, the company. I'm my own master. I make my own rules. And he was like, it was a foreign concept. He was like, wow. So then he started asking me more questions. Well, what do you do with your day? And then we got into my business and what it is and what it's focused on. But he was more interested in the concept. You mean you don't have to get up on a Monday morning in rush hour traffic to go to a job you don't like, to work with people you can't stand, to eat lunch at 12 when you're hungry at 11, to ask for permission to go to the bathroom, to save up sick days so you can have more vacation time? You don't have to do any of that? I said, nobody has to do any of that. We all have to do that. He said, yeah, because I got to pay bills. I said, that's not the only way you can earn an income to pay your bills. That's just the only way you've been taught. Wow. What an interesting, radical concept. Because school does not teach this. So as we're still being taught this same, go to school to learn how to be an employee, find a company that will employ you, here's what we're finding out. The companies don't have our backs like we were promised. So we end up having to switch companies. for various political and economic reasons every 3 to 5 years over the course of your career. So now you're not even able to stay at a 1K to earn the hours and the time to get that full pension. And you find out you retire comfortably after 40 years, so you keep on working. That's the reality. The best way not only to survive but to thrive in the new economy is network marketing. More and more companies will choose to use network marketing because it fits the new economy. It's extremely efficient because in the new economy, word-of-mouth advertising continues to work better than other forms of promotion. What that means to you is that you can receive all of the benefits of traditional business ownership without the typical risks. And there will be no cap on your income because network marketing companies want you to make as much money as possible. The new economy is going to pay you for your performance, not your time. Are you ready for this? And here's something else that's changing that even those in network marketing better wake up and realize, because even this industry is changing. Network marketing no longer controls the, where am I using? I posted it on Facebook the other day. Network marketing no longer controls the direct-to-consumer market, direct sales. Not anymore. Technology has advanced to the point where people can now get exactly what you're selling online. They no longer need you. See, when network marketing first got started, before we had an internet, before we had these webinars and computers and online ordering, even shipping, you know how you got your products? You know, whoever in your neighborhood was the Amway guy or the Mary Kay girl, and they sold the products from their garage. That's how network marketing used to be. And then when times change, where you can actually order the products from that same person's website, so now you didn't have to go to that person with the distributorship. They just give you their website. You order it from there, and they get credit for that. And that's kind of still how the industry is stuck. But here's the problem with it. Now people don't even have to go through you because they can just go online and Google it or Sherlock it and find the same product you're selling for 70% off. They don't need you anymore. So even the industry of network marketing is changing that you're going to have to adapt to. That's why I love the business that we're in right now, because we're perfectly positioned before everybody else has figured it out. They haven't figured it out yet. And the old heads, the old dogs in our industry are trying to hold on to the old way of doing things instead of embracing and accepting the new way, a.k.a. Blockbuster Video. They had a chance to own 49% of Netflix. Oh, no, people love coming into the store after work and buying popcorn and candy and picking up their video that they have on reserve. Oh, really? The new term now is called Netflix and chill. Because Netflix in 2016 is doubling their original productions. Doubling it. I heard that Amazon in 2016, what Jeff Bezos is doing, he wants to become UPS. He's purchasing big jumbo jets and delivery trucks. Why am I going to use UPS for deliveries when I can deliver this stuff myself? Drones. The industry's changing again. One thing that's not going to change is this. The new economy is going to pay you for your performance, not your time. Are you ready? So you want to become a professional. If you treat this business like a hobby, you will get paid like a hobby. You must accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. Most people have either joined a network marketing company or know someone who has. They approach it as if they are playing the lottery and hoping to get lucky and sign up that one superstar that will make them rich. If it doesn't happen, they quit. They treated this as a hobby. I just had a thought. Saying all that I just said, I'm going to go back and listen to it, reminded me of Back to the Future 3 when Doc Brown went back in time and he's in the Old West in the bar, and he spent all night talking about the future and didn't even have one drink. He just was talking about, rambling about the future. That's kind of how I felt like I was doing right now. So that's exactly what's going to be taking place. You have to be able to forecast in the future. You have to be able to, there's two things about being successful in business. Number one, the ability to solve somebody's problem. Because that's all you do in business. Solve somebody's problem. Am I choppy for everybody else, or is it just Cassandra? Am I coming through clear or choppy? Did it just start? Did it just start, or was I always choppy? Saying that I'm choppy. So here's what I will do. I am going to hang up, and then I'm going to call right back in to see if that clears it up. So give me about 30 seconds here. All right, I'm back. So I don't know if I'm clear or not, but let's keep on moving here. All right, a professional learns skills necessary to become successful in any given field, and the same goes for network marketing. Once you learn skills and there is no luck involved, your performance will greatly improve, which will in turn greatly improve how much you make. Become a professional. Now there's three types of networkers: posers, amateurs, and professionals. You see, posers treat this profession as a lottery ticket. They're hoping to hit it big with as little effort as possible. Some posers actually do get lucky and get a big break and make quick money, but it never lasts, and they never learn skills on what to do if they lose it. Posers last 30 to 60 days at most in network marketing before they quit and blame either the company, compensation plan, upline, or downline for their failure. Posers also would rather join another company that is promising an easier or faster way to riches. So instead of working harder and learning skills, they jump ship. Amateurs, getting lucky. They hear stories of people who had their entire lives changed with that one sign-up. They spend all their time focusing on that one big hit. The second thing amateurs focus on is timing. Did I get in early enough? How many other leaders are in my market? Did I miss the growth curve? Is the market saturated? The third thing amateurs focus on is positioning. Am I in the right organization? Are others better positioned than me? Do I have a good upline? Will I do better than another team? And the fourth thing amateurs focus on is shortcuts. The internet tools can do all the work for me. Every time approach to business is advertised, amateurs are all over it and easily distracted. A professional is a person who is an expert at the skills required to build a large and successful network marketing organization. A professional starts focusing on the skills and made a commitment to practice, practice, practice until the skill is mastered. A professional does not focus on luck, positioning, and shortcuts. Professional athletes will devote endless hours to preparing for competition, but when they join network marketing, they won't give one day's worth of effort to learning our skills. Doctors will devote a decade of their lives at huge financial expense to become physicians, but when they join network marketing, they won't give a month's study and practice to become a network marketing pro. Here's a $1 million mindset that you must have. The performance economy is accelerating. Technology is continuing to change the workplace. The new 30-hour work week, the rise of the part-time employee. Network marketing a better way. It's not perfect, but it is better. And network marketing is extremely low risk with very high reward. And you know it's that low risk as well on why people give up so quickly. I didn't lose anything. I just go on and move on to the next. But the reward is so high. You know, if you have to invest, this is why people who invest $250,000 to open up their own store. And knowing that it's going to take 5 years before they earn a profit. Why don't they give up? They went 5 years without making. They just spent $250,000. Someone that spends $25,000 on an investment or something. You don't give up on that so easily because you invested so much into it. The problem in network marketing is that the investment is so low. We're talking a couple $100. And most people focus just on that and are not focusing on what your reward can be. They figure, I'll give it 30 days. If it doesn't work, I'll go try something else. I didn't really lose much. You also didn't put much in it. It's not about the money you put in. It's about your time, your energy, your effort. And time is more valuable than money. I have put in 2 years of time. You think I'm going to walk away from that because somebody said no? I can care less about how much it costs. I have made far, far more money than the cost of me doing business as a professional. Focus on the reward that you can have. We're talking about in our business, $279 against $49 can earn you 6 figures a year and more. It costs more money to work a 9-to-5 job just to earn $30,000. Why? Why do I say that? Well, how many years and how much money do you spend in college just so that you can get that $30,000 a year job? How much in debt are you already in? How much gas money does it cost you every week just to drive to work? I bet it's more than $49, which is only our monthly overhead. How much do you have to spend in clothes just for your wardrobe? How much in lunch? Sick days. The cost of a 9-to-5 job is more than the cost of you doing your business. In fact, the cost of doing your business is less than the cell phone in your hand right now, and the monthly is less than your monthly cell phone bill. Nobody should ever, and I mean ever, complain about the cost of a network marketing business. That's just ludicrous. That lets me, whenever I hear somebody do that, that lets me know where their mindset is. It's not that they're bad already. They're not prepared to become a 4 and 5 figure a month earner. Their mindset is not there. Their focus is on the wrong thing. Millionaires and billionaires never focus on the cost. They make a decision first, figure out how to do it after. They focus on what is my reward? If this is successful, how much money can I make? I don't care. Then we'll negotiate after I make that decision. Stop playing small. The truth is good enough. There's no need to hyperline whatever you're doing. Enough. Create a personal growth budget. What that means is how much are you willing to invest in your own personal growth? See, wherever you are today is the sum result of every decision you made in your life until this point, including your bank account. You cannot have more unless you become more. If you're constantly drinking out of a 1-gallon cup of water and you want more water, you can never get more water because your cup can only hold 1 gallon. You need to get another gallon cup, and that happens with personal development. You've got to personally grow, and that costs time. I spend more money in my personal development than I do in my business. I'll say that one more time. In fact, I spend not only more money, I spend more time and money in my personal development than I do in my business. As somebody in another industry, another company asked me, well, you're always doing, these trainings, and mine said, I looked at your YouTube channel, you've got almost 1,000 videos uploaded, and a lot of it's like, personal development stuff. That's right. That's why I am where I'm at. Be a giver with boundaries. I'm still working on this one. What that means is in this industry, we're in the people business. And in the people business, you can't look at people like numbers. You're looking at real people. They have real goals. They have real problems, real issues, real desires. You've got to get to know them. You've got a solution to whatever issues they have, and you're willing to teach them how. That's what people want to know. You want to have a large team in an organization? Here's how. When people see you as somebody to help them change their current situation, they will sign up with you. If you can't get anybody to sign up, that's because people don't see you as somebody that's going to help them to change their current situation. Now, here's what a professional does. Not there yet. They can't see through me. Then you must get good at deflecting that vision onto somebody on your team, your upline. What you must is telling a person, I may not be the one that can get you to the promised land, but if you sign up with me, you're going to be able to work with that person up there who's going to get you to the promised land because we're doing this. That's what I did when I first got started. I wasn't rich. I wasn't walked off my job. I didn't have the best cars in the house. I was brand new. I wasn't making much money. So how was I still able to sign people up? Because I used the system. I found somebody in the team, in the company, in the team that I could work with that I deflected on, that I pointed to that person's success. And said that person's going to help both of us make it to the promised land. Let's do this together. That's what I became good at doing. And then eventually you get to a point where people sign up with you because they just want to work with you. I don't recruit. Not anymore. Yet I'm the #1 recruiter in the company. How is that possible? You build yourself up to a point where people want to work with you. They come to you. It is their honor to sign up with you. So you don't have control on what other people do, but you do have control on being that person that people want to work with. Personal development comes in. But you got to be a giver with boundaries. I try to make myself available at all times, and that's I can't do it. My wife will tell you. I was up till 3:30, 4 in the morning the other night with people who really could care less that it was 3 and 4 in the morning my time because they were a problem they had, and I made myself available. You know, little things like that. You know, you can only do so much. You've got to have certain boundaries so that you remember why you're doing what you're doing. I had to deal with the aftermath of somebody that's upset with me because I didn't respond to an email fast enough on December 31st. Hello, that was New Year's Eve. I was with my family. I'm sorry. And that was hard for me to do. So you got to be a giver, but be a giver with boundaries. Focus on $500 an hour tasks. Anything less, have somebody else do. In place of that time, do $500 an hour activities. That's even deeper. You know, if you ever have a chance, get any books written by Laura Langmeyer that talks about daily habits, what millionaires do. Millionaires don't clean their house. They don't mow their lawn. It's not that it's because they think that's beneath them. It's because that's taking up time that they could be doing other resourceful things to make more money. Pay somebody else to do that stuff. It's not that you're better. It's that you have more important things to do. The most valuable time, or the most valuable thing to a entrepreneur is time, not money. Time. We only have 24 hours, and everybody has the same 24 hours. You understand? Say to yourself all the time, I am great. I am deserving. I am a champion. I am responsible. I am a millionaire. I am free. I am happy. I am loved. I am admired. I am healthy. I am a black diamond. Or whatever top position your company offers. Say this up every day. Here's your 7 keys to success. You want to master this. Master finding prospects. Master inviting. Master presenting. Master the follow-up. Master closing. Master getting people started. And master promoting events. The better yet you these 7 keys, you will have success in any network marketing company, regardless of the company name, regardless of the products, regardless of the compensation plan. These are the keys to a successful network marketer, a professional. These are the things I mastered. There's a catch to this, though. If you don't have the personal development to go with it, you will be spinning your wheels in quicksand and not understanding why. It took me 10 years to figure that out. Within those 10 years, I mastered all of this. All the way I speak today, all the knowledge I have in the industry, I learned before I had great success, while I was broke. I mastered this stuff. It wasn't personal development kicked in, the results started to come in, and the results came in fast because I did master this stuff. And it became easy. But if you want to know, for those of you who are focusing on the how, this is the how. Find prospects, inviting, presenting, follow-up, closing, getting people started, promoting events. That's the how. And if you see my video, don't focus on the how, focus on the why. So just like that video I played at the beginning, the gentleman knew how to sing Amazing Grace the first time he sang it. The second time he sang it, he knew why he was singing it. And you saw the difference. Same words, different impact. So once I figured out my why, doing these same things, the finding the process, the inviting, had a different impact than it did before. People ask me all the time, what did you do different? I didn't do anything different. I figured out my why. That's all. That was my own personal mindset. The actions, the day-to-day actions didn't change. In fact, I do less stuff now than I did back then. I'm getting 10 times the results. Marketing. The goal is to get people to try something. Create the 100 customer challenge. See, you have to understand. You're not selling anything to people. The goal is to get them to try it. Do you have 100 customers? Why not? You get 100 people to try your product. That's it. Our product is free. Best group is to get customers is your hot market. Family and friends ask just to support you. Here's the old school way. When you get started, make a list of everybody you know. Let's call them up and see if they will get your business. No. That's not the new way of doing things. That's not the way this goes. Your friends and family love you, but they do not, and I repeat, they do not respect your business sense because you've been broke all your life. So you're not going to be able to show them something that's going to make them rich. Even when you do succeed, your family and friends are not going to be the ones to jump on your business, even if you're making $100,000 a month. It's weird why that happens. It's psychological. Here's what got me. I was at Christmas time. I don't know. It's actually Thanksgiving. One of my cousins. She knows I no longer work a 9-to-5. She knows my lifestyle. She knows my business. And yet, when she decided to join network marketing, did she join with me? No, she joined some other rinky-dink company that I knew was a failure. Yeah, why didn't you join with me? Because I'm family. So what do you do with your family? They're willing to help you. They're not willing to join you. So ask for their help. Ask them to support your business. Ask them to support your product. And when they say no, you know what you say to them? Wow, if my own family won't support family trying to have their own business, then who will support me? How will I ever be successful? You won't try something for free, yet you'll go spend money somewhere else that's not even a family member. I don't know if it's an American thing, a culture thing, but you look at many communities, especially in the Asian community, where money will exchange hands inside the community 10 times before a dollar leaves the community. They support each other. And I look at network markets like in the Asian community. When one person signs up, the entire family signs up, and neighborhood and church. That's what happened in Kazakhstan. When one person signed up, the entire village signed up. Philippines, Africa, same way. One person understands and gets it, they bring it back to everybody else signs up, they don't even know why they're signing up. All they know is that the person they respect signed up, so they must do it as well. America, you signed up, I'm not going to sign up with, I don't want what I do to make you more money. The competition thing. People they don't like to make money off you, yet they're working a 9-to-5 job doing exactly that. Isn't that the irony of that? I don't want you to make money off I do, but I'm going to go work 80 hours on a job so that my boss can spend 6 months out of the year on a golf course. If that makes sense. But your friends and family, that's your customer base. In the process, you're sharing your business with them without them realizing it, and let them be the ones to say, wow, I know people who would be good at this, or I might be good at this. That's what you use your hot market for. The new economy is all about text messaging. Nobody's listening to or reading emails anymore. Text message to invite. It's better than calling people. It's better than Facebook. It's better than using email because people read their text messages 97% of the time. Shoot says, hey, listen, a 2-minute video. Let me know what you like about it. Shoot them in a text. We can't help it. We check our text messages. I actually get more annoyed when people call me than when they text me. I remember sometimes I see her on the phone and I don't answer it. And I shoot him a text message. Hey, did you need something? And my dad, yeah, pick up the phone. I'm like, Dad, I'm busy. What do you want? Pick up the phone. I got to call him back. So use text messaging for your business. Whenever you hear the only way is make a list of 100 people, no longer need to do that. Open up your phone. You've got like 1,000 contacts in your phone. Start working that list. That's your list right there. Open up your phone. How did I misspell this? Set 25 text messages at the beginning of the month and fill up the calendar. Fill up your calendar. We're in January. I already know what 2016 is going to look like. I already know going to Dallas in April, going to Venice in June, going to London or Birmingham, UK in September or October 1st, going to Vegas in December. I already know most of it's already paid for. And then everything else that falls in between. I already know my week. I know I'm doing 5 presentations a week and 2 trainings. I know I do a 15-minute power call. Those are already set in the calendar. And then just fill in the rest. What does your calendar look like? If you're not the one doing the presentations, do you have in your calendar that you're attending these presentations? Or it's not a negotiation. It's a must. How many hours do you put a week in your business, Brandon? That's a trick question. For me, it's when the job gets done, yet people who need it the most aren't willing to spend 45 minutes a day on a presentation. Out of 24 hours in a day, you can't twice a week. What's so important that you're doing at that time? Is it putting money in your pocket? Walking Dead's not going to do it. American Idol's going to do it. Monday Night Football is not putting money in your pocket. That you're not willing to put 30 to 45 minutes a day into your business. For something you have to do is show up. See, the reason why most people fail is not because it's too hard. It's because they lack. You can't win the game if you don't get on the court. And they're stuck on the sidelines. When I was young, my idol was Michael Jordan. And I had posters on my wall. I watched every game. I remember the '92 Olympics, the Dream Team. Back then we didn't have DVR and stuff. I recorded every single game on my VCR. I loved watching Jordan and Pippen and Barkley, the way they ran, the way they played, the way they jumped. But at the time, I was, a sophomore in high school? I was 5'6" at that time. Could barely touch the net. But I would watch those tapes and mimic it and work at it and work at it and work at it. By my junior year, I was able to dunk at 5'10". And then when I started saying, well, you need to run track, do high jump, became the number 2 in the entire state of California my senior year at the long jump. But worked at it. That's what I did with my time. When I dealt with marketing, I need to be the best. I want to be the best presenter, so I work at it. I would do presentations and record them by myself until I mastered it. One thing I was teaching my son, about change. He's 17 years old now. I still have recordings of presentations I've done 10 years ago. And one thing he noticed, he said, you know what, Dad, back then you talked real fast. And I thought about it. I said, yeah, I actually, the information was great, but I talked so fast. One of them, we talk real fast. But one difference that he noticed from then and today is that I speak a lot slower. One thing I learned to master was in voice inflection, knowing when to pause, knowing when to, take that 2 seconds for people to think about what you just said before you move on. Knowing when to have a high note or low note, when to pause. I learned those skills later. So now I'm more effective today than I was back then. So you're always learning, you're always growing. Now I learned how when I do recordings, I put music behind it, not because I think the music is cool, but because it's a psychological thing for that. Number one, I have a learning disability. And I don't share this all the time. It's also part of my why. I always had something to prove. My sophomore year in college, I was diagnosed with autism disorder. And what's amazing is it's like you're going to school with one arm tied behind your back. And how in the world did you make it this far without getting diagnosed? Well, in our household, especially in the black community, we don't at a young age, mental disabilities or anything like that. It's you work your butt, you better work harder. You got to work twice as hard as everybody else just because of your color. That's what I was always been taught. And so when I was struggling in class, even in elementary school, I recognized it. I just said, you know what? I just got to work harder than everybody else, and I did. In college, I would basically take notes on the entire chapter. I would rewrite the entire chapter. I would be up to 2, 3 in the morning doing so when everybody else was partying. Because I was trying to be better. I was just trying to be equal. That's what I had to do to get it. Then I learned that I had a disability, and I knew what to, once that happened, I knew what to do to work on that. But I always wanted to prove something. Auditory processing disorder. So the way I hear things is different. So when I put music behind it, it adds to the way I learn. I'm able to, when I hear certain music, it triggers things in my head. I get it that way. I learn better that way. So that's why I put music behind it. It also sets the scene. Just like when you go to a movie, what's the latest, greatest movie out right now? Star Wars, right? It is all about Star Wars. And when you hear that theme, You know what's coming when you hear the Darth Vader. Dun, 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 dun. You know what's coming. That's why movies have musical scores. Without the music, the movie can be completely different. That's why in my videos I add music to what I'm doing. Probably for effect and probably because that's what I need to learn. Each of you have your own unique ways of learning, your own unique ways of doing things. You've got to figure that out for yourself as well. I went off on a tangent there. Let's keep going. Body dragging. Putting people in front of the opportunity. Whoever puts the most people in front of the opportunity will always make the most money, not the person who speaks the best. Whoever can put the most people in front of an opportunity. The thing you want to be able to duplicate is the ability to say the words yourself, meaning when you first get started, you're listening to what your upline is doing. Now, you're going to be able to say what your upline says. Become the ability of a noob to be able to present. Learn how to tell your story. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to do another Saturday Mindset training just on your story. Learn how to tell your story. What is your background? What you didn't like about it? You found a solution for it, and how you feel about the future. That's what people want to know. What's your story? Be able to do the presentation. Because now you don't have to rely on somebody like me. Do you think I don't have a sponsor. My sponsor is the CEO. So do I need to have the CEO? Michael, you've got to set up 2 or 3 presentations a week so I can put people in front of it. You've got to do my presentation like 3 calls. No. When you have the ability to do the thing, you set your own schedule. Nobody told me I have to do 2 presentations a week. I set that schedule. I can do 5 a week if I wanted to. If I had the demand for it, I would. Learn how to train and inspire people. That's what leaders do. The greatest leaders in the world weren't looking to become leaders. You know, he was a born leader. He was probably an introvert at the beginning. The ability to train and inspire because you're dealing with people. And like life, you have ups and downs, and so do people. And when they're having a down, you may not know they're in a down. There's some of you on this webinar right now that's probably in your lowest point. I don't know you're at your lowest point right now, but what my job is to be able to do is to inspire you to know that it's temporary. Here's one to look forward to. At this stage in your life, you've had many low points in your life. Yet you're still here today. Whatever is going on in your life, you will survive it. God has brought you through worse things in the past. You're going to get through those things today. It may not be in the way you want it to be, but you have faith in the belief, and you keep moving forward, you will start to shine again. Seasonal. Or sometimes the sun is shining. The key is to be able to be on an even keel during all of it and to learn during the down times so that you can become a stronger individual. So you want to be able to learn how to inspire because you're going to go through those times as well. You know what helps me out? Doing these trainings when I have low times. When I have a low time and I do a presentation, I get pumped up and excited again. You want to know why? Because this is not my information. I didn't make this stuff up. So when I do a training, I'm just reminding myself of this stuff. Hearing it all over again. Repetition. And I get pumped up again. I get excited again. I get motivated again. I listen to the recordings. I even listen to my own recordings because my brain is hearing my own. So it's like I'm listening to my positive stuff. I want to focus on that and my own thoughts of, things are bad. People aren't doing anything. What do I have to do? It's not moving fast enough. I lost $25,000 a month and 90% of my team. Oh no, what am I going to do? No. It's just seasonal. It's temporary. Figure out your speech and master it. That's something that I did. Here's an example. Have you ever played sports when you're a kid? Let's say you want to play in basketball. And I remember me and my friends used to do this. We used to get a mic, right? Or pretend we had a mic and we would say, starting at point guard, Brandon Ivey, Los Angeles Lakers. You guys ever done that as kids? Even played, Star Wars? Who's the Sith and who's the Jedi? Play cops and robbers, or play, and you dream like that. I used to do that. Or we used to pretend that we were at a press conference. Or we used to love watching wrestling. And so we would do in our garage, we would dress up as a wrestling character, and then we would play our intro music, and we would practice doing our ring intro as if we were walking to the ring once we become professional wrestlers. That's what we used to do as kids. Why don't we do this as adults? See, here's what you do as adults, because it's silly. You don't do that stuff anymore. You're an adult now. That's kid stuff. Here's what you do. Here's what I used to do as an adult when I went to a network marketing convention, and I would always see some guy making 7 figures standing up there on stage telling their story, giving their speech. Wow, if I was on stage, what would my speech be? And then you know what I would do? I would go home and I would record myself giving my keynote speech. And I would do it over and again. So I knew when my name got called and I'm up on that stage, I know exactly what I'm going to say. And you know what happened to me? When I actually did get on stage, the thing I thought I was going to say went right out the window. My mind went blank. I just started to talk. And what happened was, because I had practiced doing this so much, even though I stumbled for the first minute, all of a sudden it came into place. It's like practice. It's like muscle memory. Once you train and do something, you're on the police force, you're in the military, they all say fall back on your training, focus on your training. That's what you're doing here. You focus on your training. You get to the habit. I've done presentations so many times that sometimes I zone out, and I've done this. And sometimes I have a bad habit. Let's say the Lakers are on TV, or I want to see the Golden State Warriors or a football game. And in my office, I have like this command center with 3 big screens going. One TV's got the news, another TV's sports, another TV's got on the computer. And I have the TV on mute, but I forget to turn it off. And I'm watching the game while I'm talking. And I get caught up in the game, and I zone out, and then 15 seconds later I come back in a panic. But I'm still talking, and I realize I haven't noticed anything because I've done it so many times. It's like muscle memory. I can do this thing in my sleep. Why? Because I am a professional. I want to master my craft. Master your keynote speech. And then create a game plan. And have a simple game plan to follow. Use the month of January, for example. Here's a game plan. Hit power all over again if you're on our business. Hit power. Do not let January come hell or high water without you becoming a power. That means you must personally roll 4 and have a team of 12. Make that quick $500. Everybody's coming off of Christmas broke right now. You want $500? Monday. Between Monday and Sunday, enroll 4 people in the business. You would have made more than $500 in our compensation plan. Make that $500. Get those 4. And then for the rest of the month, teach those 4 to do the same exact thing. And you're a power affiliate before the month is out. I don't know. Where did I get 4 people from? Go meet 4 people and share the business. If you put at least 10 people on my presentation next week, 4 of them will sign up in the business. How fast can you have 10 guests on a presentation? At least 4 will sign up in the business. That's a simple game plan. I didn't say it was easy. It's simple. Drag the bodies. You can do 10 people in front of me in 6 months, or you can do it in 1 week. The results will be the same. It's just a matter of how fast do you want these results. That's what I learned from Bugs. Makes $1.4 million a month. He said the difference between me and other people is I compress my results. I don't wait for a year to do it. I do in a week what most people will do in a year. Not because I'm special, because I'm willing to work harder at it. It's a numbers game. It always has been and it always will be. You can't control other people, but you can control how many people you put in front of the presentation. That's your simple game plan. And master the events. And I was just talking about the events. Master inviting to events. Your business is built from event to event. You have to show enough value for your event for people to even show up. That's true. If you're not showing any value, why should I go? Why should I spend 30 minutes out of my time to see this? You want to walk off your job? Yeah, you got to be on this event. Everybody's doing it. How would you like to get paid for what people are already doing? You got to show up to this event. No? All right, you go be broke. I had one person tell me this. Well, that doesn't work. I said, really? Well, let me see. The product works. The company works. You work. I don't. You need to be there. Oh, okay. All over again this month. I have 3 people already that's going to be signing up this month. I'm working on my 4th. I'm going to help those 4 people get our weekly CAD bonus and at least make $500. Power all over again. I've hit global, I think, 4 times now. Maybe more. I'm close to triple diamond and black diamond. Don't try to wake the dead on your team. Growing grass always covers up old mud. New blood will always be better. You cannot drag a horse to water. All you can do is show them where it is. It's up to them to drink it. And if they won't drink it, go find somebody else who will. The fastest way to motivate a team is for your team to see that you've moved on without them, still growing. And then the leaders will step up. You create the culture of your team and company, make the commitments, set the goal to the world, get your promo team, 10 people, sell 10 tickets. All that means is the next event, you got to have at least 10 people on your team there. We've got an event in the UK this month. We've got our cruise. We've got our international in the UK. We've got the Vegas event in December if you're in the United States. We've got 4 months till our event in April. Make it a point to be there in Dallas. Come to Dallas. Meet the CEO. What, at most, what's the flight going to be? $200-300? $120 a night? For the hotel? For 2-3 nights? Come on down for the weekend. You never know what that's going to do for your business. Posers announce an event, amateurs invite to an event, professionals promote an event, use incentives and competition in team with contests and rewards. Here's an example. I haven't announced this yet, but I'll say this now. Person in the United States to hit power gets an extra $50 from me this month. Here's my thing. It's for new people starting in 2016. And if you're old, you have to hit it all over again, meaning from new people. You need to personally enroll 4 more new people this month. You can't already have 2 from last month and then get 2 more this month and then go from there. I want new blood. 4 new people. Whoever's the first to hit power gets an extra $50. Then I'm going to go up from there. I used to invest over $2,000 a month back into my business for stuff like this. One day I'm going to say I'm going to give $1,000 to a person who is global in the next 60 days. On top of what people currently make. How about something like that? Commit early. Spend all of your time with those who will do this stuff. Know your why. This is a 2-part. This is part 1. Part 2 is regular mindset training. Why are you doing what you're doing? Before you go to sleep tonight, I want you to ask yourself this question for 2016. Why are you here? What are you doing this for? More time with your family, kids, tuition, new home, debt-free, vacation, retirement. That's all good, but here's the challenge. I want you to imagine that you've already done all of this. You've already bought every toy you want to buy. You've already taken all your vacations. You've already tripped around the world. You've got all your house cars. And you get to a point where you can't even think of what to buy. I remember my wife, and I am not of these. And at Christmas, my wife was, what do you want for Christmas? I had to seriously think about that. I'm not talking about expensive stuff like a new Bentley and stuff like that, but thinking, what do I want? I've got my toys, I've got my headphones, I've got my books, I've got my games and stuff. I guess give me clothes. I don't know. But I want you to imagine if you wake up on a Monday morning at 10:30 and 11, you don't have to go to a job. You can't even think about what to spend money on, yet you've still got a lot of money in the bank. Here's the real question. What would you do with your time? What are you passionate about that you're going to enjoy doing? And more importantly, how does it make you feel? And if you need help on this, imagine that they just announced a $250 million Powerball lottery, and think about winning that lotto ticket. That's the only time adults get into dream mode. Man, if I win the lottery, I do this, I do that. Okay, use that as an example if you need help. But most important is, how does it make you feel? Capture that. Brain only understands emotions. It doesn't understand words. It only understands how you feel about something and works to get you more of that. That's why when people feel bad, and they always feel bad, because your brain is wanting to continue feeling the way you feel. That's its job. It's a computer. It only does what you program it to do. You've got to program good stuff to your brain. So your brain will continue to do things that's going to bring you that good stuff. We've just been programmed from birth to think a certain way. So it's hard to reverse that trend. So you've got to start to reprogram your brain. They don't teach you this stuff in school. You can't think like everybody else. Got to get out of the rat race. So this is a first step in doing so. How does it make you feel to have everything you want and desire? See, the reason why The Secret, that movie, doesn't work for most people, even though it's giving you the right message, is because people have a negative feeling when it comes to money. When they think of money, they don't feel good about it. They feel bad. They think of the lack of money that they have. And anytime it's like Pavlov's dog, you ring the dinner bell and the dog knows it's time to eat. When you think about money, your body automatically knows, oh man, I'm broke. You have a bad feeling about it, and your brain continues to make that a reality for you. Funny thing is, wealthy people don't think about money. And what money is, it's just a resource, it's energy. They think about lifestyle. What provides the lifestyle. So they don't think about the money, they think about a lifestyle. I love what Dave Chappelle said. When people thought that he was crazy, that he ran off to South Africa and walked away from a $60 million contract to continue his show. And he said, well, I'm already a millionaire. He said, when I go to the most fancy restaurant in New York, the most expensive restaurant, and I order the most expensive plate on the menu that I can afford it. And I look across the room and there's a billionaire sitting there. He's sitting in the same restaurant as me, ordering the same meal as me. What's the difference between me and him? The fact that he has more money in his bank, I can buy the same things he can buy. It's not about money. It's about lifestyle. When wealthy people reach a certain point, especially in the business world, for them it's more of a challenge than it is about making more money. Money to them is just their scorecard that they use against, I have a bigger scorecard than you. But they both just buy the same things. It's not like one person's quality of life is better than the other's. Oh, my yacht is 200 feet larger than your yacht. So, does that make your life better? No. It's just a scorecard. It's an ego. Well, my car is better than yours, but yet both of our cars get us to the same location. Does that make you better than me? No. You just have a more expensive car. It doesn't make your life better. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're better. You know how many depressed people there are out there with millions committing suicide? Like, what are you depressed about? You can do anything you want in the world. You got all the money in the world. He doesn't understand that. If you don't understand that money is not the key to happiness. Money is a resource to get you the things that you want to do. You have to have money to be happy. It's an understanding of it. So I want you to do this skill, this lesson here, because when you go to sleep, you're consciously asleep, but you're unconscious, you're awake, and it's working out whatever problems, whatever you programmed it to. So now you're giving your brain 6 to 8 hours of uninterrupted thought of how you feel when you went to bed. That's why they say, for married couples, don't go to sleep angry with each other. Watch what you watch on TV before you go to sleep. After watching Star Wars, I've seen it like 4 times now. I even had a dream that I was like the greatest Jedi in the galaxy. In my dream. Why? Because that was what was on my mind before I went to sleep. So program your brain. It takes a lot of practice on this. It's not like you're going to dream certain things, but you have control of what you feed your brain. Watch what you fall asleep with your TV on. Watch what you're leaving on your TV. It's like wealthy people. They always play Baroque classic music to their babies. Certain brain waves. That's a whole other training. And then when you wake up in the morning, take note. How do you feel when you first got out of bed? And this is a process. It's not going to be magical overnight. This is something that you've got to do repetitively. Are you eager to get out of bed, or are you dreading getting out of bed in the morning? You're dreading your day. Like, oh man, here we go again. Do that. If you don't understand how to change physiology, watch any YouTube videos over and over again by Tony Robbins. Change your physiology. Change how you feel about things. That's the first step to changing things in your life. Because you're going to attract to you whatever energy you're giving out. You're giving out bad energy, activity, that's what you're going to attract to you. It's like magnets. We're all magnets. We attract to us what we are. Birds of a feather flock together. You don't like your life. Look at the 4 or 5 people around you right now. Are they probably in the same situation you're in? Time to change your friends. Time to change your circle. Henry Ford said he was one of the wealthiest men to ever walk the planet. Over $300 billion worth, said, if I were to lose all my money, the first thing I would do is find out where wealthy people hang out, and that's where I would hang out with. I would just be in their presence. I want to feel that energy. He understood something back then. So with that, thank you guys for joining us. This was our very first mindset training on how to be a pro for 2016. Since this is our second day, we have 363 days left in this year. Every day counts. What are you doing each day to move forward to your goals of success? Or you repeat 2015 and 1 year from now, when we do this all over again, you're no better off then than you are now. So forecast yourself. What do you need to do different, and then just do it? Why was that Nike slogan so popular? Just do it. Just do it. There's nothing holding you back. There's nothing stopping you. And I want more money. Then get on the presentation. Just do it. Well, watch how things start to change. I've got a challenge on myself. For years, one of my New Year's resolutions is always get in better shape, right? So here's my challenge. We got our cruise coming up in June. And we're going to be visiting 4 of the most beautiful islands in the world in the Greek islands. My wife is already talking about, being one of the baddest women on the boat. Can't wait till she walks around in her bikini. So I've got to step my game up. I can't walk around with dad bod. I want to be able to take my shirt off and be proud. So my challenge is in that health field between now and June. Now I'm not going to look like Creed on the movie with Sylvester Stallone, but I want to be able to be out and strut around the beach because people are going to be taking pictures. In this digital age, one picture goes up, it's on Facebook before I even knew someone took a picture of me. That's my own person, and I struggle with that. What's yours? What are you going to over? So thank you guys for joining us tonight. I'm going to play one last video, and it's actually a short video. It's a video that I watch every single day because I can relate to this. You don't know how many times I've had the feeling of, I need to just give this up and quit. I don't feel I'm being as appreciated as I should. I could be doing some other things. It's just not working. I'm just tired. You don't know how many times I have those thoughts. And I just keep pushing forward anyway. One of those videos I watch every single day. So thank you guys for joining us. See you next Saturday, 2 on Saturday Night Mindset Training. Happy New Year. Let's go to work. God bless. Bye-bye.
Most people only pay attention to the final product of a successful entrepreneur. They say things like, I can never be like them, or they got lucky. What most don't see is what they've overcome. All the struggles, the daily rejections, the heartaches, the betrayals, the rumors, the criticism, the empty bank account, and all those lonely nights while trying to make their vision a reality. You see, the only difference between the one who quits and the one who doesn't is that they showed up every day. They worked hard every day. They hustled every day. They learned from a proven mentor every day. They improved every day. They did all this even though they felt like quitting every day. And eventually, they became who they are today.